Okay. First off, credit to Colorado State. They were really, really good. They played really, really well. And, they made some big shots in that second half when we were putting some pressure on them. And so you got to credit to Colorado State for their offensive performance tonight. Shot 59% from the field, so credit to them. Secondly, we score 86. You got to win the game. Just unfortunately, we just have not been a good defensive team this year. I'm beyond disappointed about that because in all the teams I've been the head coach on, we've been really good defensively. It's been a staple of ours. Just unfortunately this year we have not been good enough defensively. And obviously I haven't done a good enough job as the head coach defensively in that area with our group. And you score 86, you got to win the game. Just like Fresno State, you score 96, you got to win the game. I could go a couple other games. You score enough points, you got to win the game. We're just not getting enough stops. Early in the first half, I told this to Steve at halftime, are coming in because they're such a good three-point shooting team that we wanted to take the three out. We did take the three out. They were 2 for 7 in the first half. And we talked about them cutting through we've been working on the last 2 days, cutting through our chest on their cutting. And somehow and not to ball watch. You can't ball watch against this team. When they pick it up, you've got to actually get focus on your man, not the ball. You got to see, ball and man. And we started ball watching, and they just got us on multiple back doors on the pickups. Obviously the free throw line, the first half, they got to the free throw line 19 times. We had great practices. Monday, Tuesday, a great shoot around. If you asked me, I thought, man, we're going to come in here like a tornado. And we had great practices and tremendous energy. And we started off, I thought our energy wasn't great to start the game. And I could sense it. And I disagreed on some of the calls, but I had to kind of, of course, I didn't say anything, I got on the official and I was trying to get our guys going. I was yelling at our guys, yelled at the official, got a tech, just trying to get our guys, get some energy and some urgency. And then we did. But again, we allowed them to get going to start the game. Our start wasn't good enough. We're down, 9-2, 11-2, I forget what it was. That's been an Achilles heel of ours a little bit, is our starts, and then also, just overall defensively. And you just, again, we've been great offensively. We execute, play up tempo, get to the paint. We're as good as anybody in getting to the paint. We get on the glass. It's just defensively, we're just not, good enough right now, and it's cost us games this year, unfortunately.
Coach Dre mentioned lack of focus to start games, pregame, and during huddles during this game. What would you like to say about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought our practices were great. We had great practices. I don't know why our start wasn't great. I thought the guys, I felt we were focused, ready to go, but just, it wasn't, I don't felt it was focus. I felt our energy. For whatever reason, we play really well on the road. We have so much better, different energy on the road. And now we had energy throughout the game after I jumped on them and jumped on the official and had to get the tech and just get our guys going. We were fine, and it was back and forth, but our starts have not been good at home. That's been an issue. Like the Grand Canyon games. In San Jose State, we had some good starts, but we've had some other games where we just had bad starts at home. And but on the road, for the most part, we've started well. And we've got to get more. I know Jacob and Emmanuel didn't play a lot today. They played a total of 13 minutes, and obviously we got to get more from them. They didn't play a lot, but I really played about 6 guys, double-digit minutes. I thought Walter Brown, who's been so good for us, did not play to his standard tonight, and that hurt us because he's a guy we're counting on. Had some turnovers and a couple just defensive lapses that he doesn't make. So Dre, I thought a couple times, Dre's been outstanding, but a couple times I thought he tried to play hero ball, and try to get some things one-on-one, and I had to pull him over and say, man, you got to let it come to you. The ball will find you back. And so, again, that's part of him growing as a continuation as a player, because he's such a great player, that he's just got to keep learning that team's game plans every time we step on the floor are going to be to try to take him out, shut him down, and he's got to just keep being a great point guard and let the ball find him back. I thought our execution offensively out of timeouts, I got to go back and watch the tape, but I felt during the course of the game we had good execution and did what we needed to do offensively. But again, we scored 86. Just our defense is just not good. And I've been a defensive coach, and our teams have always been really good defensively, and we just have not been to the standard that I have for our program defensively this year. And it's put us in some binds, predicaments, losses because just haven't got it done.
Coach, it's like you said, you've had some epic wins on the road, but this last road game against Boise State, I mean, you guys were down
23
points, yeah, and you came back and won that game. This game down double digits again in the second half and closed it to within 2. Again, as he said, I'd asked Ray what had happened, and he said it was focus. What do you do to stop these big runs where you guys have to make these gigantic comebacks?
Yeah. It's our starts. We get down in these starts, so there'll have to be some things that we'll have to examine on some things over the next 48 hours before we play Air Force. And, I told Callie and everybody in the media day yesterday that we're a team that can beat anybody. And, people say you can beat anybody. We can literally beat anybody we play, but we're also a team, because of some of our lapses defensively, we can lose anybody. It's just unfortunately. But, I got to look at the starting lineup. I got to look at everything, because our starts these last 2 games have not been good. Again, like I said, as sitting in my chair, we had great practices Monday and Tuesday. Had great practices, but we just, unfortunately, just haven't. Gave up. Our start allows them to give them life and confidence, and yeah, we fight back every darn game pretty much, and we compete, but we dig ourselves a hole, and it just bites you in the butt eventually, and it did tonight. Did you get something?
Yeah. After you take a loss, after a great week of practice, like you said, what does next week of practice look like?
Yeah, well, we play Air Force on Saturday at 1 o'clock. I think it's 1 o'clock.
Especially considering that's kind of a trap game.
Yeah, no, well, we're not good enough to have any trap games. Like, we can't look past anyone. We're not in any position to look past anyone. We have great respect for Air Force. We know they're a good basketball team. You can't worry about their record. Well, look at San Jose State. I've said it, they're better than their record. Air Force is a good basketball team. They run good offense. They're a good defensive team. It's a road game. I just said, like I said, we're good enough to beat anybody, but we're also, if we don't play good defense, we can lose anybody. But we'll watch film tomorrow and get back on the practice floor Friday, and we got an early game Saturday. I think it's 1 o'clock local time there up in at Air Force. So we're not in any position to have any trap game or look past anyone, and especially after again giving up 91 today, you just can't do that. It's multiple times this year where we've scored enough to win. Offensively, we're really good right now. This stretch, we've been so good offensively, we just haven't got it done at the level needed to defensively.
Where was Muniz on the scout, because he had a season high, and then how did Jorgensen change them? Running a lot of the offense to them up top.
Yeah, Steve. We started the game with Emmanuel and Jorgensen. If you notice, they scored, and then they ran the flare screen for Jorgensen, which is a tough matchup for Emmanuel to have to. Jorgensen's really a stretch 5 or a stretch 4, and he's a good shooter, so you have to guard him out there. And Emmanuel, that took Emmanuel up and sized down and went right away with Tyron. I didn't think Tyron had a great first half, but he was awesome the second half. He was unbelievable. Kind of was like Boise. He didn't have a great first half, but Boise an incredible second half. When you get Tyron to be like that in both halves, whereas And then Nunez was top on our scouting report. What hurt us with him, he had some big shots. It's funny, number 2, the kid didn't play because of the boot, or he hurt his ankle. And it gave Nunez 55 more opportunity. Probably if 2 plays, 55 doesn't start and doesn't get as much time and as many shots. Just how that stuff goes. It was sort of like our game versus Grand Canyon. When Howie was out, Tyron's out, it gave some other guys more opportunity. It's just, basketball's a funny game like that. And what the issue we had, Steve, is we talked so much about 2 things. The cutting has to go through your chest. Well, they were going behind us. And secondly, you can't ball watch on the pickups because of the wall. We've got to be great at walling up, 10 fingers to the lights, chest them. And then when that happens, you got to stay at home and know that your man's cutting. We were ball watching too much, and that ended up biting us in the butt.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
Right, you guys get down double digits in that second half, but then make a run and get a chance to get it back within low single digits there late, and then just not able to get it done. Just your thoughts on the final 2.5, 3 minutes of this one.
Like you said, we were down double digits, and I was kind of just trying to relate to the team, man. Like, we've been in a worse position before, so just keep fighting and keep doing what we do. And yeah, we came back, but we just couldn't execute.
I guess this is for both of you. They kind of seem like they got into the paint at will. What did they do differently from the first time you played them to this time?
Just executed their backdoor cuts more. We had a lot of miscommunication on our low man. We switched up the game plan. We wanted to go switch the curl screen, switch nothing. We just were. I can't even tell you the amount of unfocused we were during those huddles if we can't go out there and execute it 10 to 15 seconds after Coach just said it.
Can you build on that? Like, what was happening in the huddles where you guys weren't processing?
I mean, we were talking. It's just I honestly can't even tell you. Like, we're all there. We're all listening to Coach. Just lack of focus, like I said.
What's this like for you? Because you keep scoring at a super high level, but I know you're a top level competitor. Like, how frustrating is it?
I don't care how much I score. Honestly, I want to win basketball. I want to be a winner. It's hard to win. When you win, you get respect.
How can you guys build on this game? You guys had 3 wins in a row, kind of a setback now, but what can you learn from this to carry over into your next matchup?
He's got to use it as motivation. Do what we've been doing after hard losses. Get back to practice, get back to film. The more I watch film, see everything we did wrong, see where we messed up with miscommunications. And yeah, after that point, it's just keep that chip on your shoulder and keep working.
You guys have gotten down by double digits in quite a few games, and you make these runs and you come back in the game. But what does it take to not have to put yourself in a position to come back from such big deficits?
Focus. 15 people on the roster playing or not playing focused. Not goofing around before the game, not goofing around in practices. Focused.
All right, thanks, guys.
Great.